pathways are formed on the thighs. So here we have the main vascular bundle, which is located right here, specifically between the muscle groups of the adductors, the adductor muscles, and the quadriceps. This main bundle is positioned in this area right between these important muscle groups. Here this bundle dives into what's called the adductor canal, or Hunter's canal, and passes through it, going under the knee. And from under the knee, it emerges right here in what's known as Gruber's canal. All right, so Gruber's canal runs down the middle of the calf, formed by several muscles, and it exits here, and then in turn, it's replaced by the next collector, which is Richet's canal. Well, to be honest, you don't really need to know that, since you're not that great with anatomy yet anyway. I mean, the names themselves, well, you can use them to sound smart in front of your clients. So with that in mind, what we need to do now is move the lymph through here, right? Along this straightforward path. So what can we do? The simplest way to move it is with movements like this, right? See? The simplest pass. This is when we're just using a direct stroking motion to move the lymph. But this stroking motion must be combined with a light jostling, right? So why do we need this jostling? Because when we press down, the lymphatic vessels are very delicate and they can easily collapse or stick together. This is why, for example, in the Pascal coach system, the movements are done in these wave-like motions. It's done precisely with the goal of minimizing the collapse of the lymphatic vessels. And here, when we alternate with a light jostling motion, that's one option. A second option is we can also use the force of gravity. So what we do is, this of course is what we do from the knee upwards. So this technique is quite understandable, right? You see, towards the lymph nodes, we move it through here. And the same thing, a light jostling, right? And the option, remember we did this one here. And the two-handed option is also suitable, like this. So you can, it's clear, right? Or in turn, as I showed, that is, there are not many options to get, but there are very, very many options. Next, this part of the font still needs to be downloaded in some way as it is necessary. In this case, you can also resort to articulation. By means of articulations, squeeze and press the popliteal muscle. And the metallic element iron, thus lymph flow. Another option you might consider is to gently pump the popliteal notch using this simple articulation technique. Just place your palm underneath it and slowly swing your leg. Naturally, the popliteal fossa is effectively pumped. And here, as you can see, the area expands and narrows. That is, naturally, surge occurs here too. You can supplement it artificially like this, or like this. This is a very good pumping technique. And again, a light vibration on the verge of sweating will not do any harm. This is approximately the main drainage system. Sometimes it happens here that the accumulation is so intense. But here we are moving and at the same time making a slight surge. This is how the main drainage is articulated, meaning how it is structured and connected within the system. Next, we can proceed to the following steps in the process. To be done. Tissue drainage, that is the movement of fluids and substances through our tissues, is an important process. Although I would like to, after the legs have been freed a little, at least a little more so to speak, it is also important to make the lungs completely filled with air and smoky, or rather, to fill them thoroughly with air. This can be achieved by taking at least a couple of deep, slow, and deliberate breaths in and out, exactly in the same mode as when the legs were previously raised. That is precisely what these breaths are for, to help facilitate the process and support overall tissue drainage and oxygenation. And deep exhalations, because it is precisely here that our lymph conducts deep breathing, and by moving the legs and the filler, we slightly compress the abdominal area. We promote the natural outflow of fluid from here. And accordingly, it is important to make sure that our muscles here are relaxed. You see, when I move my skin, it moves, which means the muscles here are moving. If the muscle were tense, oh look, you see there's tension down here. See how the skin doesn't move up? It moves down, see? It won't move up at all. So that's the tension in this area. There. And accordingly, because of this tension, you see the navel is pulled, and it's indicated right here. But those are elements of a different analysis. You don't need that for now.